Welcome to the What Now Movement Virtual Business Summit. I am Eric Twiggs, your procrastination prevention partner. I'm the author of The Discipline of Now, and I am the host of the 30-Minute Hour podcast.
And I am Dr. Sharon H. Porter, educator, author, publisher, and host of the I Am Dr. Sharon Show.
And I am Ted Fells, President and CEO of New Core Vision and also co-host of the 30-Minute Hour podcast.
So let's talk about why we, as the founders, decided to start this movement. So this pandemic has impacted you. It may have impacted your business, changed your business. It may have changed your job situation. It may have changed your situation at home. The question is, what now? That's the question. So we decided to put this movement together with the mission of building high-performance entrepreneurs, high-performance authors, and career professionals who are ready to deal with life's unexpected curveballs. Because here's the thing, this pandemic will pass, but there's going to be another crisis down the road, and we need to be able to adapt and prepare. And that's really the whole point of this movement. You can see our vision, you can see our mission, and we're aligned on these core values to build, to create, and to innovate. And this is all about community. We want to form a community where we can all collaborate and share these ideas and pool our resources and ultimately equip ourselves to take it to the next level, and again, to be prepared for those unexpected curveballs.
Absolutely. And we have a dynamic lineup for you today. We are packed from 10 until 3 p.m. today. And so we hope that you join us. We're going to kick it off with none other than Shukla. His title session is Becoming a Pandemic-Proof Entrepreneur. He will present in between 10:15 and 10:45. He will be taking your questions at the end of his presentation. You certainly do not want to miss this. And next, we are followed by Matthew Horn. What do you mean you're bored? Write a book. Oh my goodness. Author and publisher Matthew Horn will be giving us some tips on writing and publishing. His session is scheduled from 10:45 until 11:15. Our first panel, we have two dynamic panels today. The first one entitled Adjusting to the New Normal, Business Pivots panel discussion. We have business owners, entrepreneurs who have had to adjust and some who have adjusted earlier so that they can make sure that their business sustains. We have husband and wife duo, Antonio and Martina Turner. We also have Marquessa Petway, Gina Young, and Sonia Powers-Waddell. So you certainly do not want to miss this panel discussion. It will be from 11:15 to 12:15. Our afternoon lineup does not disappoint. We have presenter Mary Abajay. Her title is How to Advance in Your Job in a New Virtual World. Author, speaker, she's going to let you know how to manage up. Our second panel is mental health, and we know that health is certainly our wealth. These individuals will come to you, Andrea Lopez, April Lewis, Kim LaMontagne, and Sharon Lawrence, on mental health and what we need to do to make sure that we're keeping our mind healthy. Attorney Elsa W. Smith. She's going to present 8 tips for estate planning for business owners. I tell you, you know that this is an important topic and you certainly do not want to miss it. We're going to end up with Ms. Angela Floyd, enrolled agent and partner of Intelligent Tax Solution. Her session is entitled Business and Personal Finance. She's going to walk us through some dynamic tips on how to keep our business and personal finances above waters.
As you've heard, we have an exciting, jam-packed day. We're excited about you all being here. We want you not only to participate in the summit by asking questions during the session and even at the end if you'd like, but we want you to follow us on all of our social media platforms. We have at What Now Movement on Facebook, the What Now Movement in LinkedIn, and at the What Now Movement in Instagram, as well as our website, which is www.thewhatnowmovement.com. We appreciate you all taking this time out to support, to join today and to be a part of the movement.
I am excited to introduce our first presenter. He came to the United States from India in 1989 with $20 in his pockets and unable to speak English. Today, he's helped over 5,000 businesses. He's built and sold a seven-figure business as a business consultant. He's received a congressional honor. He's run a successful financial planning business, and he's published the Amazon best-selling book, Sell Like Crazy. So please join me in welcoming to the virtual stage, Ash Shukla.
Really appreciate you guys. And today I'm going to be talking about how do you pandemic proof your business. So my friends, with that in mind, I'm going to get started, but we have a lot of participants here. Those of you who are here, my friends, I want to say thank you so much for being here. I want to tell you that I love you guys very much. And today my goal is to just make a difference in your life. Okay. So if you need some, if you need anything, you can always reach out to me. But today my goal is just to help you guys out and really help you understand how do you pandemic proof your business. So let's start with what's going on now. With that in mind, let me begin sharing my screen real quick. All right, so I just wanted to share a really quick presentation with you guys. I'm not much of a presentation person. I'd rather just talk to you directly. So, but I wanted to share something with you, just a little bit about me. This is my information. If anybody wants to contact me, you can go to ashshukla.com, or if you forget anything I said, just remember ashiscash.com, and you'll find me anywhere. Okay. First of all, I want to thank all of you for being here. Really appreciate you guys. And today I'm going to be talking about how do you pandemic proof your business. Okay, now how do you become a pandemic proof entrepreneur? And that is the question. But before I answer that question, you have to understand what does a pandemic proof entrepreneur really look like, right? So if you want to see, like, this is a pandemic proof entrepreneur and this is what it looks like.
My name is Jacob Twiggs, and I'm the owner of Twiggs SEO. I'm recording this out of a co-working space that I just finished up working at in Budapest, Hungary. And the only reason I think that I'm really here right now is because of Ash's advice. Ash is an amazing business consultant. He helped me grow and scale my business faster than I thought ever possible. And now I'm able to travel around the world working online at the age of 19. He taught me a lot of really important things, like how to get my infrastructure in place, how to get my offer down. And most importantly, he taught me his step-by-step process for sales. So he taught me how to close people over the phone, and it's been working very, very well. Hello.
Okay, all right. So you see that that's called a pandemic proof entrepreneur. When you take a look at somebody who is going around the world and really enjoying their life, even in this situation. This was a video recently shot, by one of my clients, and I helped him out. So like the question becomes is, what does it take to become a pandemic proof entrepreneur? So I'm going to go back to my presentation. I'll show you that what it requires is a step-by-step process. Many entrepreneurs and business owners over time, I've been doing business for since 1994. Okay, now I will tell you that being in business, I was pathetic in the beginning. I started selling. I could not sell anybody. I had to blackmail my dad through my mom to make my first sale. That's how bad I was in the initial stage of my life. Okay. Now I will tell you also that I work for several banks, managed several $1 million in the financial services industry. I've been in the financial services industry since 1994. But what happened over time is that I started my own business in about 2004. And what I learned, being an independent sales rep for many companies and being an employee at several organizations and then becoming my own business owner and building it to a 7-figure business is there's a particular process that everybody has to follow in order for you to win. The very first thing that you have to do is you have to learn how to unlock your business. And you how do you unlock your business? It really is an important step that you must take. Many business owners, they just want to get to the building stage. They want to become big and like huge, right? But at the end of the day, my friends, that's not how this works. Just so you know, if you're a small business owner and you're really liking my presentation, we'll go ahead on Facebook and write down pandemic proof entrepreneur. Write that down in a Facebook live called pandemic proof entrepreneur. If you're watching me you're one of the panelists here and you're having some good time with me and you like my content so far, just go ahead and write down pandemic proof entrepreneur, and I'll shout you guys out when I'm done. Okay. Now with that in mind, the very first thing you have to do is unlock your business. The second thing you have to do, unblock yourself from anything that's happening internally, and I'll talk about that in a minute as I'm moving along. And by the way, just so you guys know that I am also going to give you guys a copy of everything that I'm going to talk about in a PDF format. So if you guys like it, just let me know. Okay, so unblocking is the second stage. Third stage is attracting. See, what happens with many entrepreneurs is you get started, you don't have a lot of money, you're like, okay, now what do I do? Where do I go? So unlocking becomes an important piece because it's all about the internal mechanism. Then it becomes an unblocking piece of the game, where how do you unblock? And this is where the second phase comes into play. But then the third phase, the attracting piece, is becomes so crucial because this is the phase where you learn how to build a consistent cash flow. Many business owners, they just want to jump to something big. They want to be huge. They want to, perhaps, you want to make multi-million dollars, right? Now, if that is the case, that's fantastic. And my hats off to you. And definitely you can make that work. But what you have to do to make that work is you have to learn how do you get consistent cash flow in your business. That is a must requirement, because in order for you to get to the building phase, the last phase, which is what everybody really yearns for, like that, like Jacob, who just shared with you a little bit about me working with him, right? As a 19-year-old kid going all over the world and doing what he loves to do. So that being said, if you want to do that piece, you can get there. But my friends, it does require right guidance, right help, and right process in order for you to make it work. Now, what does this really look like? So let's talk about, how do you unlock? Now, I'm going to share a journey with you. And I was coming here in September 4th, 1989, me, my parents, my brother, we were coming here for the first time. We had never seen we have never gotten into an airplane before. So this is a first time. If you're coming over here, we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know who is going to be, how we're going to make it here. We had $20 in our pockets and we did not know English. So we are here at the Bombay International Airport. We are saying goodbye to our family. We had a huge family gathering back then. And then as we are getting into the plane, very first thing that happens, we see this icy beige, sidings and maroon windows and maroon seats and all that stuff. And I was so excited to see a plane from the inside for the first time. As I get into the plane, me and my brother, we are fighting for the seat. Obviously I'm older brother, so I had a distinct advantage, but I'm a good brother, so I gave him my seat. Now what happened was, as the time went on, 9 o'clock comes around, flight is supposed to take off, doesn't take off. Flight was 4.5 hours delayed, and we finally took off at 1:30 in the morning. Then, of course, it's a Bombay International Airport. It's hot, humid, 100+ degrees. It's muggy. It's yucky. And finally, a plane takes off, and we're like, thank God it took off. Then we go to London Heathrow Airport. We land at the London Heathrow Airport, and I'm like, oh my God, I have never seen anything so beautiful ever before in my life. So I go ahead, and now I have to go to the restroom. I have a problem, right? And I don't know how to ask. I have to go to, so I'm like, how do I ask? I have to go, So I'm looking at this door and everybody's coming out of that door. They're so relaxed. I'm like, there must be a nice room in there. People are so relaxed. And of course, it was the restroom. Then finally somebody helped me out. I did my business. I go to the ticket counter. I see my dad is struggling with the ticket counter lady because he can't speak English, and she's saying something, he doesn't get it. He's saying something, she doesn't get it. Well, finally, an Indian lady walks up to us and says, "We have missed our connecting flight." Now, at that moment, what happens is that we thought that the literally earth left us because we couldn't go forward to America and we didn't know how to go back either. So now what do? So the lady helps us out, gets us a voucher, gets us tickets for the next day. She helps us out. She was very nice. And then finally we go down to the to eat because we were so hungry. We hadn't eaten anything for a long time. So we go downstairs to eat, and we are vegetarians. In 1989 at the London Heathrow Airport, being vegetarian, there's only two words comes to mind: good luck. So we go downstairs to eat, and we are looking at the menu. We don't know what we are looking at. Finally, lady comes over again. Luckily enough, this lady comes over again. And what happens is that she helps us pick a spaghetti, a salad, and a bread roll. So I'm like, I'm hungry. I gotta eat something. I see this green thing which we have never had before. We never had salad in our life. So I thought it was grass. I'm like, okay, fine, people here eat grass. So I dig in, and it was horrible. Then I go for the spaghetti. It was just plain noodles, and that was also horrible. Then I'm like, you know what? Bread is universal. It has to be good. So I go for the bread, and what I find, and it was actually a soup roll, English soup roll, which I couldn't even buy. So with that in mind, we go to bed hungry at that night. And next morning, we made sure we caught our connecting flight. Now, the reason I'm telling you this story is because you have to understand that in order for you to unlock your full potential, your business, you have to understand that in order for you to unlock, right, very first thing you have to do what my parents did and what we did as a family is you have to be all in. See, my dad sold everything back home to have an opportunity to come here. We waited from 1981 is when my aunt applied for us to get official visas, and we didn't receive our visas until 1989. So first of all, when you do have a chance, and when you do have a chance to make it big, you have to be all in. So that is the reason I'm sharing this story. Number two thing you have to learn from the story is that, okay, when you are in this airport, London Heathrow Airport, when somebody arrives there, you as a entrepreneurs, you are right there at the London Heathrow Airport. And I'm here to tell you that I'm not here to give you a ticket like that lady gave us a ticket and give you the vouchers, but I'm here to take the flight with you. Now, that being said, you have to do the same thing for your clients. In order for you to pandemic-proof your business, you have to make sure that you are flying with your clients. You cannot let them fly alone. Now, in order for you to do that, though, you have to get it to the next step, which is you have to understand who you are. See, my grandfather used to ask me all the time, you have to ask yourself, Ash, who am I? Who am I? Am I the kind of person who is a go-getter? Am I the kind of person who is a heart-centric entrepreneur who loves to give people? Am I the kind of person who loves to communicate? I'm a good communicator. Am I the kind of person who really knows, how to think and strategize my business properly? Am I the kind of person who is absolutely grounded? Am I the kind of person who is really creative? Who are you? Right? Who are you? Maybe you are one or the combination of many things that I'm just describing to you. So first step number one is you have to understand, my friends, not only understand yourself, and then you can begin to understand other people. If you like this so far, go ahead and write down, Ash is cash, and I love it. Okay, so go ahead and write that down in the comments in the Facebook Live as you're watching me. If you're watching me here, of course, on the in the panel, I would love Ash's cash, of course, I love it as well. Okay, so with that in mind, so very first step is you must get on the plane with your clients. If you're going to pandemic proof your business, you have to understand who you are, and then you can start the journey, and by taking the plane ride with them. That's step number one, and that is what I'm here to do, my friends, is to take a plane ride with you. as an entrepreneur, as a consultant, as a speaker, as an author. Like, this is what I love to do. Okay. Step number two. Step number two, what you have to do is you have to understand how do you unblock your full potential. Okay. Now, how do you unblock your potential? How do you unblock it? How do you unblock from this situation that's going on right now? Now, I would love to write down, if you are here and watching me right now, love some comments on this as I'm talking to you guys. Okay. Now, to unblock, okay, you have to understand, you have to understand your numbers. I know many entrepreneurs think that, oh my God, like you're just gonna win. You're not just going to win, because it's gonna require a lot of effort, a lot of focus, a lot of tenacity, lots of things all at the same time. And I'm gonna share my insurance example with you. Like, I was for the first time after coming here in '89, in 1994, I ran into financial services, and it was completely an accident. So I get into it. I became an insurance. Initially, I was in the sales, like a strictly sales environment. So I was only making money on commission. So I'm like, okay, great, I can do this now. I'm really excited. So I go for my first time. I go for my exam. I got 69, second time 68, third time 67, fourth time 66. And you can see I'm making progress in the right direction. I needed 70 to pass. Fifth time I go, I got 66. I got sixth time, I got 67. And I'm at this point, I'm completely pissed off, and I'm like, I have to make this work. So I go inside and I memorize my book word for word, and I strategize, and I said, you know what? I will go to a different place. I will no longer go to the same place I went to before. So I went ahead and I made it work. What I did was I went ahead and chose a different testing center, because I thought the computer at the other testing center was prejudiced. So I went ahead and go to the different testing center in Washington, D.C. So when I go to Washington, D.C., I go for the seventh time, and I got 69. I still didn't make it. And finally, on the eighth try, I passed my exam. I had to take my investment exams, 3, 4, 5 times as well. Now, that because English is not my first language, English is my fourth language, so that makes it a little bit, I have a big English barrier, and it's hard for me to understand some lingo. And that was my reasoning. But sometimes in business, you need small tweaks to make it work. All I needed was small tweak. What made the difference the eighth time was I found out that as English as a second language, I can take extra hour, which is what they were allowing. So I was able to take extra hour of my time, and I was able to understand material a little better and pass it. See, my friends, so in order for you to unlock, okay, you have to understand. Okay, first of all, you have to want it really, really, really bad. Okay, it's not just going to come to you. All right, but more importantly, you have to learn how to measure and move forward, measure and move forward, measure and move forward, measure and move forward, measure and move forward. And you got to keep on going. You cannot stop. Okay, and then last but not least, you have to keep your eye on the prize, the prize of winning big. When we came here, one of my dreams was to make it big. I didn't want to go, I didn't want to be some employee for somebody. That wasn't my dream. That was a dream for many people. That wasn't mine. Okay. Now my dream was huge. So I wanted to make it big. So you got to keep the eye on the prize. No matter how long it takes, you got to keep on going. But you as a business owner have to know your numbers. That is non-negotiable. Okay, because many business owners, they wake up in the morning, like one of the habits I believe that you can get into every single morning when you wake up. When I wake up, I look at my phone, I look at my bank account, and I see where I am at every single morning. So all great business owners, there's a tip for you guys, where all great business owners, they really look at their bank account every single morning. The third thing you have to do in order for you to build your business, a pandemic-proof business, okay, you have to learn how to attract. Now, in this presentation, in this particular, basically a place where I'm presenting, okay, I'm gonna share with you in a minute what am I doing to attract, okay. Now that presentation I did at the Bowie State University for Congressman Steny Hoyer, and in conjunction with Small Business Development Center in Maryland, okay. Now, in order for you to attract, first and foremost, you have to learn how to align. You have to align your physical, spiritual, and energetic body all in one. You have to understand how that works. And then you have what to make things more complicated. This is where most entrepreneurs just fail, because they fail to understand that not only you have to understand yourself, but now you also have to understand other people. Okay, you have to understand other people's energies as well. You have to understand their physical, spiritual, and energetic bodies in order for you to really connect. This is all about attracting financial abundance. Is all about, like, realistically, if you're going to attract people, you have to be able to connect, period. So in this picture, what I'm doing here, just so you guys know, is that this is I created a signature dance. I knew that this was going to be mixed audience, but predominantly in a particular African American audience. So I actually basically became I made my signature dance the wobble. So I had a lot of fun with everybody. I was able to connect with people. I had a lot of great time, and I danced on Indian songs, which was ton of fun. So you have to be able to connect with people in the right way energetically. Now, one of the things you can do to connect with people, and if you're having tough time right now, what you can do, my friends, is you can take a simple tool like prayer beads. Okay, so those of you who don't know what prayer beads are and why they're built, so prayer beads have 108 different beads in here. Now, this is a great tool for you to use in order for you to make it like to calm yourself down, to get you focused and things like that. The reason there's 108 beads is when you do prayers in a proper way, you begin to calm your mind, and then you begin to calm your body. You do this 5 times. You take these prayer beads and you go around, do this, like, and I can share this with you. I have some prayer beads. If you like some, just let me know in the comment on Facebook Live, or if you are here watching me, I have some. I've gotten them blessed by one of the largest temples being built in the world right here in New Jersey. So in Robbinsville, New Jersey. And so I have some available. So if you guys want some, just let me know. I'll be happy to just send them to you. Literally, nothing, no strings attached. Okay, I'll just send them to you at my cost. Okay. So that being said, you have to get prayer beads. In order when you get prayer beads and you go through it one time, okay, and I'll teach you a technique to go through these prayer beads one time. When you go through them one time, and let's say you pray Jesus, 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 or you pray something else, whatever you pray, whatever manifestation you want, you can have. And then when you get to this called guru bead, and in the guru bead, you can flip it over and you can move on from there. But if you do this 5 times a day in the morning, and you manifest anything you want, it will come to you. It will attract to you. It will say, yes, I am yours. Take me. And that's what it's going to do. Okay. So that being said, prayer beads are very, very crucial. If you have them, if you don't have them, let me know. I'll be happy to get them to you. If you have them, great, you can use them. But that is the reason all religious believers, the priests, they have prayer beads, because they want to make sure they're calm at all times. They're aligned at all times. They can connect with people at all times by connecting within themselves. Okay. The other thing you have to do in order for you to attract, you attract constant, attract pandemic proof business, attracting the people around you, is you must come together and become and get yourself in a place where you're making consistent cash flow. Listen to me very carefully right now. Those of you who are not listening, I'm telling you, drop everything, because this is so important. See, consistent cash flow solves a lot of your problems. If you take a look at anything in the world, retirement account, consistent cash flow, savings account is built for future cash flows. Okay, if you take a look at pension plans, consistent cash flow. When you take a look at let's say, for instance, anything else that Social Security, consistent cash flow, right? What does government look for? Cash flow, right? That should be a hint for you. So with that in mind, I want you to know that consistent cash flow is the key to your business. Now, this is a so far, if you like it, okay, say I like it or I love it, okay. Now, to create consistent cash flows, you have to get creative. Like one time, what I did was, I was in the financial planning world, so I'm like, okay, what can I do to really help people? And I was doing a lot of seminars and stuff like that back in from 2004 to 2008. I did a whole bunch of seminars. I spent about $300,000, and I'm like, I knew that market had crashed and other things had happened in my life where I had to like cut down my cost. So what I did was I took a little trash can. I took a letter and I put it in there, and I wrote in the letter, I knew you would do it, so I did it for you, your local financial advisor, and I mailed it to potential clients. My friends, I received more business than I can possibly imagine, okay? So all I can tell you is you got to get creative. To pandemic proof your cash flow, you got to get creative. You have to be creative. Now, the last thing you have to do to attracting, this is the attracting phase, okay? To attracting phase, you have to pay attention to what's working for you. You see, you can't follow other people. You can't like, oh my God, like, this person is doing this. Oh, wow, like, look at that. That person is doing that. Oh, wow, look at this person. You cannot do that. You have to understand who you are energetically, understand how other people are, and understand also there's energetic sense in the social media platforms, in other things that you are doing. And you have to understand what works for you. Does webinars work for you? Great, do them. Like I do financial chakras webinars every single Friday at 12 o'clock. So those of you who are interested in that, by the way, just make a comment. I'll be happy to give it to you. So you have to, that works for me. It may not work for you. I don't know, right? Facebook Lives works for some people, doesn't work for others, right? LinkedIn works for some people, doesn't work for others. Why? It's because energetically, we are all aligned with something. The question is, what is in alignment with you? That is the question you have to answer. That's not the question that I can answer. So my friends, you have to understand what works for you. That's only you know, right? Every client I work with, privately or in groups, I find that everybody is a little bit different. And because energetically you are different, you attract different types of energies from different places, okay? And those of you who don't believe energies exist, if I find my little tool, I can show you that energies does exist, okay? I can't find it right now. But anyways, so attracting is so crucial. That consistent cash flow is absolutely important. And to do that, you don't have to spend a lot of money. Hear me out very clearly. People think you have to spend thousands and thousands and millions of dollars to make a lot of money. You don't. Actually, the most effective things are most cost effective things, and most simplest things are the most profitable things that I have ever found. So attracting phase is absolutely crucial, okay? The last thing you guys have to do, I'm sorry, I'm excited. I'm just kind of trying to deliver content in the best way I can, all right? The last but not least comes the last phase of the game, which is building. Once you attract and you have consistent cash flows and you are winning and you are making it big, my friends, it is time at this point in time to really make it big. And to make it big, to make it big. Okay. So to build your platform, to build your business, my friends, let me be clear about something. Building is the last stage of this game. And the reason it is the last stage of this game is this, right? See, because most people say, oh, no, Ash, you don't understand. You came here and you made it big. No, I didn't. It took me a long time to make it. And then in my journey, I was going up from 2004 to about 2007-ish. I was really doing really well. I had spent about $300,000 in marketing, and I was doing really good in the financial. And then somebody scammed me personally, and I lost a lot of money. But it literally drowned me. Like I drowned emotionally, completely drowned. But then, I was having conversation with my grandfather, and I made it again, right? So that stuff is going to happen to you. Things that right now, what's happening in the pandemic, people have a pity party. Stop throwing the pity party. It doesn't matter. The United States, has over, $15 trillion available. So all I can tell you is there's a lot of money all across the world that's available to you. So now in the building stage, you can take bigger risks. You can have a robust marketing put together for yourself. You can get an online business going for yourself, because all that requires is money. Okay. So with that in mind, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today. My friends, if you want more information, you want to connect with me, you want to talk to me or what have you, go to my website, ashshukla.com or ashiscash.com. And you will find in the top over there are 3 things you're going to find. You're going to see Financial Chakras webinar that's completely free. You can click on that and join me in the webinar. You'll see Pandemic Proof My Business. You'll see that it's in my calendar link. You can just go ahead and set up a calendar. And if you want to join me in my retreat, I also have that as well. So with that in mind, I want to say thank you. I would love to any tips for someone just starting a coaching service? Absolutely. So let me just answer any questions you guys have real quick, so that way we can get going from there. Okay, but thank you so much for everybody for joining. Namaste, and I love you a lot.